Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to a new edition of Lunch with the Shark. I am your host, Vidal, the Shark CFO of Espinosa, and thank you for bearing with us. Jeffrey, thank you for filling in yesterday. I've heard that you did an amazing job hosting today's Lunch with the Shark, and thank you. I actually had a family not emergency. Thank God it wasn't emergency, but I had a family thing that I needed to attend, and it was impossible. Family first. Believe it or not, family always comes first. I thank you for understanding. Thank God, everything it's fine. It's just part of the planning process of a overall issue that's going on, but everything fine. Thank God, everything. And again, I thank you, Jeff, for filling in. Thank you for Jesus to helping him out, and thank you to everyone that tuned in and cheer for Jeffrey. Hernan, thank you for sticking there with him and giving him a pep talk and encouraging him. Afterwards, he was really nervous, and he called me and he said, "You know what? It's not easy." And you know what? It's not easy. It's not easy sitting in front of a camera, cell phone, whatever you want to do it, and talk to you guys and talk about a topic that might not be familiar with, and try to transmit knowledge that it's utilizable in your day-to-day business operation. It's not easy. I actually commend everybody that we do this. Sometimes we say things that are not like in congruency with what you believe, but actually we all have different points of views. We all have different perspectives, which actually comes to benefit us, because you are supposed to, believe it or not, listen to different opinions from trusted advisors. And you come up with your own conclusions, and you follow that advice that you get from them. If they're contradictory, you have to ask, hey, this person says this person says that. And you need to come into a agreement, and you have to see every perspective, because everybody in business, even though they might have gone through the same issue, there's different solutions. Okay, every problem has multiple solutions. Nevertheless, the outcome or the your wish for each problem is to solve it, right? So you have to be very, very aware of that. And following in this week's topics about future planning, I think Jeffrey spoke yesterday about exit strategies and developing them and how to create them. Today we're going to talk about why are they important and how to create them. To begin with, an exit strategy is meant to have tools that will help you leave your current situation either after a predicted objective has been achieved, or it's a strategical move on your part. Okay? An exit strategy, it's not done only or solely if your business is failing, if your parameters of success are not met. Because an exit strategy is going to be implemented to exit the current business due to the validation of your measurements, your financials, your data not being reached in a period, or the achievement of those methods, and you want to move to a next phase or a next venture. What does a lot of app developers are doing? They want to create the next Uber, the next Airbnb, the next WhatsApp, next Instagram, next book, so they can sell it to Google, to Facebook, to Airbnb, to Uber, to them, so they can create another one. And then they can create another one. That's the purpose. That's the only reason they're trying to develop those applications or new applications, so they can exit, create, exit, create, exit, create. That's a lot of incubators out there. They're trying to do that. They're trying to help incubate those ideas, then accelerate them, and then have their developers sell them, and they can move on. That's an exit strategy for success. Okay? For most entrepreneurs, when they start a business, they usually don't think about the end of the business or how they are going to exit a business. Most of us, we write a business plan that it's intended to be perpetual, that is intended to be for life. I want to hand down this company from generation to generation for in secula seculo. Okay, whomever doesn't speak forever and ever. Okay, forever and ever. You think that your kids are going to stay in your business, your grandkids are going to stay in the business, your great grandkids are going to stay in the family business, and so forth. That doesn't happen. That does not happen usually. Rare. So when the time comes and you want to exit the company, for not calling it selling the company, what am I going to do? It's not in the business plan. It's not planned. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. Am I going to exit the company and leave somebody? Or am I selling the company? Or what the hell am I doing? Right? So my recommendation is write an exit strategy, an exit plan from the get-go. Remember, a plan, a business plan, it's a living organism as your company. It's a living organism, like a virus. Okay? So it changes. It metamorphoses, whatever the word is. Just laugh, don't care. So it changes. And the business plan, it's going to change. The exit strategy, it's going to change, not a lot, but it's there. It's addressed. Yes, you know what? After 20 years or after then I'm stepping down. That's an exit strategy. Okay? So even if you're a small business, it's a good idea to plan ahead and think how you will transfer ownership of the business down the line. You choose to sell the business or try to scale it and seek to acquire, whether you want to hand it down to your family, whatever. There must be a strategic plan to do so, for you to exit, for you to start stepping down. When is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? At what time? So forth and so on. It's never too early to plan for anything, but mostly for an exit strategy. Okay? It's never to plan to do so. Planning an effective exit strategy, it's going to be different for every business. Yes, don't go to Google, download a template, and utilize it. Don't. If you created a company doing that, seek legal advice, because that does not going to. If you have a will or a trust that you downloaded Google, get an attorney. They don't work. Don't be cheap. It needs to include a cost plan that accounts for the company's unique circumstances, market and industry conditions, trends, goals, and time frame of the owners. Even different type of owners. If you are if you have a business in the U.S. and it's owned by the majority is owned by foreigners, it's totally different, because there's different tax implications if you're handing it over, if you are keeping shares, if you are relinquishing your shares, whatever it is, if you're transferring, if you're being acquired, if you're being merged, there's a lot of implications that you must consider. Maybe you want to net $100 million, but due to tax circumstances, you can't net $100 million. There's taxes to be withheld depending on where you reside. There's a lot of implications that Google will tell you. Okay, so here are 3 steps to start an exit planning. To start it, okay? This is not what's to be included. This is to start it, okay? Give me just 1 second, because I am boiling here. I don't know who has not turned on the air conditioning in our house, and it's 78 down here. Mother, it's my mom. My mom, she's always cold, like my grandma. That's inherited. That's not an exit strategy. That's inherited. Yeah, my mom's always cold, even though the house, it's like we can be boiling here at 85, whatever. Temperature outside could be 90, 100, 110. And if we turn on the air conditioning at 73, 74, she's going to be like, oh my God, I'm freezing. I feel like I'm in the Arctic tundra. And no, just put some covers, Mom. So sorry for that. 3 steps to start an exit plan. Okay? Planning. Step 1, set your goals and timeline. Set your goals and timeline. The best way to figure this out is pick a date you will be leaving and create a plan from the date backwards. Okay? For executive, we would remember or recommend a year to 2, depending on the size of the business, to start a transition plan. Each milestone in the plan should have deliverables, transfer of tasks, and a structure of the organizational chart of the business to account for the changes in leadership. An exit strategy, it's not just for the whole company. It's also for your executive team. It's also for your director. It's also for your C-levels. Let's say that we are part of your executive team, C-level team, and I am your chief operating officer. What are you going to do if we leave? Like that. And say, hey, you know what, I don't want to be here. That would not happen, because that would be totally unprofessional on somebody like a C-level to say, I'm leaving from tomorrow, and I tell you today. That doesn't work. No C-level that it's professional and in a right mindset will do it. C-level positions are very specialized, and they take time to transfer. Okay, Like whenever you hear the chairman of the board, the CEO has resigned, and a new one it's being named, and it's taking over in, you usually hear 6 to 12 months, maybe 6 months. It doesn't mean that the former CEO, chairman of the board, it's leaving immediately. No, they actually stay there. They're no longer in that position, but they stay there to support and transfer, exit properly. Hey, they go little by little. They do a plan, a time frame with deliverables, with a structure. Hey, we're going to do this, and this is going to take 1 or 2 years. So you should have a plan. If you're at that level, if you have C-level team members or board executives, be prepared with a plan like that. Mostly a job description helps, because you actually know what they're doing. The exercise that we did, or I asked you for last week to do what do you do on every single day? Like write down everything that you do, right? And obviously in a C level, a person is not going to write a dollar symbol or an X right next to the activities, because some of them are not supposed to be revenue-driven activities. Mostly are directive activities that will generate revenue in turn. So just have like what do I do over a month? Because their activities are totally different than a management level or a work level, because those individuals tend to be more focused on certain very, very detailed activities. So have them do that and create a plan over that. Okay. Now, also for your company, if you're selling your company, if you are being acquired, if you're selling it, transferring it, it's not going to take one day. Okay. We have experience on companies being sold or companies being acquired. And sometimes when there's a merger or acquisition, not everything it's transferred. The former owners stay there a couple of years. There's a transition period. Both teams, the new company and current company, both collide at certain point, and then it's a phased separation and a phased integration. There's a point where both CEOs are managing the company. One has more power and more power of decision than the other one, but there's a time where there's two CFOs, two CEOs, and so forth, until everything it's aligned and it's in one straight line. Okay, so be prepared for that. Figure out your current resources. It's very important. You need to determine where you are right now, both in your business and personally, to see how resources need to change to ensure a smooth transition. Maybe due to your personal finances, you have to sell the business. Maybe you realize you can afford someone to take your place. Maybe you want to do an initial public offering, but don't have the right people to do it. You need to look at everything your current have and figure out what pieces are missing to exit the business strategy. It's very simple. Your exit strategy, it's going to be either selling the company or being acquired, transferring your leadership to somebody else. So there's different avenues that you could follow to exit your company. Maybe you want to retire, but you're not selling the company. You're just transferring the power, transferring the CEO position to either somebody in your company, somebody in your family, or somebody external. Now, if it's somebody in the company, the resources are who's capable of doing what I would do. Okay. If it's somebody in your family, then a governance plan comes into place. who's going to take over, why, if you had 3 kids, one of your kids, it's taking over and not the other 2. Like things like that. They have to be planned, they have to be written. But how much is it going to cost you in resources? Resources, I mean dollars, money, dineros. Resources, I mean attorneys. Resources, I mean drafting new policies and procedures. All that. What is it going to entitle? What is it going to take for them to take over? Okay. So which resources do you count with? Do you count with time? Maybe, unfortunately, knock on wood, you're dying. Maybe you have something, you're sick, and you don't have enough time. Time is a resource. So what are you going to do? Like, I want to sell my company. Well, how long is it going to take? Are you going to be even able to sell it because you want those resources, the monies, for you to get better? Well, you're going to have to maybe sell it for pennies on the dollar, and you don't want that. Or you want to take it public, and it takes time. You need to be prepared to take your company public, but you don't have enough time. Are you going to create a special committee? Like, all that needs to be taken into consideration. From the get-go, you need to consider that. If you don't have an exit strategy, as we said from the beginning, create an exit strategy and say, hey, if I still have my company when I'm 50, that's the time, the age that I want to retire, we must have this in place. Or I want to sell it once my company reaches $100 million in valuation. The valuation has to be done this, and this, and that. I know that you are starting a company. I know that you're not well versed on this type of topics, but research. Don't use a Google template to generate an exit strategy, because it's not going to work, but at least read books about exit strategy. Those are very helpful. Any book is very helpful. Okay, so it's more helpful than Google. If you download it from Google, kudos, that's great, as long as it's not a template. Okay, so I don't know what I have against templates today, but they don't work. They should be just a base, customized. Okay, so figure out the resources, time. Like, what do you have to invest to get this strategy implemented, in place, in due time? Okay, so we have so far the goals and timeline and the resources. Number 3, use value drivers. What are value drivers? Value drivers are part of the business that help increase the value of your business. Oh, talking about Ana Georgia, baby girl, happy birthday. It was your birthday yesterday, and we were not able to go and give you a hug and kisses and everything, but I promise you that we'll see you very, very soon. And happy birthday. We love you. We adore you. And we spoke to her over the phone, and we asked her how old was she, and she said that she was 7. Siete. Her favorite number, siete. And then she said, no, 5, cinco. And then she showed us her little head. But she's 3. Okay? So happy birthday, Ana Georgia. And Robertito, happy birthday to you. Today's your birthday. We'll call you later on. Happy birthday, dude. So going back to values. What's a value? Most people do not value their company properly. Your company, it's not valued just because of your revenue. No, not that. Have you valued dineros, numbers, your processes and systems, if you have them in place? Have you valued your brand, your name, your goodwill, your client database? That's an intangible asset. That's value to your company. If you sell a product, how well placed in the market is, and that has a value. Most databases have a value. Those are valuable resources that you have. How are you evaluating? How would you evaluate your company? There's a lot of formulas that you can utilize to determine that value in your company. It's not just like, oh, an accounting firm, it's worth 1 to 2 times the average of the last 3 to 5 years of revenue. No, it's not. No, it's not. What's brand recognition? Is your brand recognition just associated to you, the principal? Because if it is, if the principal dies, guess what dies with it? Yes. So you need to separate. Separate. If you are in the service industry, please don't become your brand. Please. Just add value to that brand, but become your brand. Because if you die, it dies with you. If you die and you intend to live that service company to your kids, guess what happens? Unless you introduce kids and your kids are working already in the firm and they are helping your clients, they can continue on. But if you die, the brand dies. Okay, so beware, be prepared, plan for that. That's also value. Okay, so there are value drivers that will impact your business the most. Improve internal operations, systems and procedures. Good operations make your business much more appealing and valuable to buyers because it's more likely to give a fast return on their investment. What did Jeff said yesterday? Ray Kroc was not the founder of McDonald's. He created the franchise. He franchised McDonald's. He did not create it. He didn't. So what you need to do is you need to systematize, create systems and procedures, standard operating processes for your company that in turn will help you create a business model that is sustainable and replicable. Let's say that you have, us, Invictus Advisors, let's say that I want to start creating little offices every single city in the United States. What's going to be the easiest way to do it? Create standardized procedures that are easily implemented by anyone that does not even know accounting. That's simple. And that's very valuable. I can actually sell, lease, gift, whatever the hell I want to do for an accounting firm. Hey, here's a business in the box. Here's your accounting firm. Just go and follow these procedures. You don't need knowledge on accounting. Let's do that. Okay? Just hire people that know that. That's valuable. Operations, internal operations. Diversify the customers. Find new ways to reach different audiences. Widening and diversifying who buys your products. That does not mean to create a line 100 products. That does not mean that. No, it means to diversify your clientele. Okay, if you are just going to one avatar, well then open up that product or those 2, 3, 5 products that you have specialized under the Invictus Advisors accounting firm and just widen your clientele. Instead of us just going towards the Hispanic market, let's go to the American market and let's go to the Latin American market and then started opening to different cultures, for instance, right? And then instead of going for people that are just professionals, let's go for startups and self-employeds. That's opening up my line of products to multiple audience. Okay, do that. Experiment it. Do research and development. There's a tax credit for that. Woo-hoo-hoo. We are in tax planning season, yes, but right now, research and development, you can implement it, and if you have the resources, invest on it. Number 3, increase business transferability. It's important to have some kind of management structure so the buyer knows that they have a management structure already in place once they buy the business. If you're an attorney, if you're an accountant, if you're an architect, if you're an engineer, and you have an accounting, a law firm, blah, 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 and it's just managed by you, or you are a sole proprietor, what the hell are you going to sell? Are you going to sell yourself? I don't think so. You're not selling your team. You're doing a structure. You're handing them a structure. Do you even have an organizational chart? It's so funny because when we onboard our clients, one of the first things I ask them is for the organizational chart. And you can actually learn by the organizational chart that somebody sends you, provides you, gives you, showing in their website. Because I've seen some organizational charts that they're not triangular, they're not like going down or like opening up. No. They're circular. Everything evolves and it goes around the owner. And holy shit, we have so much work to do with them when it comes to management, because they're the ultimate decision maker. They're the ultimate, they say yes or no. They have to micromanage everything. They have to review everything. They have to approve everything. They have to do everything. And like, holy shit, you are killing yourself. And you're trying to sell that? You're trying to help clients, what? Help clients maximize their profits, increase their sales, and what are you teaching them? To everything evolves around them? No, it's not. So there's a lot of work to be there. So where's your organizational chart? What are you going to transfer? Remember, you're not going to transfer the individuals. You don't own the individuals in your business. But what you're transferring, or what you're offering, it's a structure, a company, not a sole proprietorship. Are you staying with the business? You're trying to exit the company. You're trying to retire. You're trying to reduce your hours. So beware. Create a structure. Create a company from the get-go. Not when you have $250,000 in revenue. Not when you have one client. No. From the get-go. Oh, it's very expensive. Yes, it is very expensive if it's done properly. The birth certificate of a company, it's not your company. Okay, yes, it's a birth certificate only. Every single document that is attached to that, that's your company. Those are the rules of the game. And you want to have good rules of the game. You don't want templates. So be very careful. So have a structure, have an organizational chart, okay? Give them value. Give them value. If you're a company, if you're being acquired, like whatever, like if you're selling it or if you're being taken over, you're merging, give them more value, because that turn, it's going to give you more for what you've created. You have no idea what a good structured company could bring in. Maybe if you're the accounting company that you're trying to be sold by 1.2 times your revenue, but if you have standardized procedures, if you have a CRM that is working, if you have a system where everything is unified, that's valuable. That is really valuable. That adds to the 1.2. And I'm just saying 1 because that's the average or the standard or whatever is going on around there. So there are other pieces of an exit plan that we have not gone into here, like tax implications, transferring the business structure, and how to manage employee expectations. One of the best ways to handle those questions is to chat with someone that knows about how to exit a business. And remember, exiting a business, it's not just closing the business. Okay? Even closing a business has a tax implication. Has a implication when you are letting your employees go. Everything has a tax implication in life, even death, if you don't plan accordingly. So be prepared. Be willing to speak to someone that knows how to do a proper exit of you as an individual, or you as a company, or you as a trust, or you as a whole family from one business to your retirement, or to selling it, or to being acquired, or to merge, or to go public, or to close it. Shut it down. But be willing to talk to somebody that it's knowledgeable on so. Visit us at invictus-advisors/shark, and we can have a conversation about it today. We're no experts on exit strategies, but we do have a team member that knows and it's expert in that. We can guide you and point you in the right direction. Okay? So just talk to us. Maybe I can give you some ideas. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe there's other ways. Maybe there's a lot of things. There's a lot of maybes. There's a lot of things that you might not have considered. Maybe Google, it's telling you wrong. Google might have ideas that are just bumping each other. Oh, shit. Which one is the right one? The yes or the no? Oh, I'm going to take the yes because it's better for me. And at the end, the right answer was a no. And you're screwed. You already fucked it up. So we now have an incredible response to our webinar. Yes, I want to thank everybody that is signing up and liking our Facebook post and page and following us and sending us questions. Negocios Sin Fronteras, cómo iniciar un negocio en los Estados Unidos. We are going to do it one final time this year, and it's going to be Thursday, October 22nd at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Times. And it will be the last time you will be able to get information about opening your business in the U.S. You can sign up at invictus-advisors.com/webinar. So make sure you sign up early, since this will be the final time. We will be doing it live, and the last couple of times we actually run out of space. I just want to comment here a little bit about what to expect if you also sign up for our consultation. After our consultation, we will prepare a business proposal from our services. I want to be very, very clear. We are not a mass-producing opening business company. We are a business consulting that we utilize accounting, tax, and planning for your company. If you expect us to be like LegalZoom or those type of services, we're not. That we have the attorneys, we have the tax advisors, we have the accountants, we have the business consultants, all under one roof, that are going to maximize and exponentially put you in a positive position to be successful in your venture. Okay? We don't utilize templates. We don't just register your company and provide you a birth certificate. We don't just do that. Okay? We utilize strategy. We utilize a tax code. We do everything according as if you were going to go public in your company. We set you up for success. Okay? So if you don't want that, don't even come to this webinar. Please please give that space to somebody that is willing to be successful, that wants to be set up for success, and wants to really launch a company in the US, and it's not just looking for the easy way to migrate into the United States. It does not work. And let me tell you one thing. It really does not work, because when you go to your interview at the immigration office, they actually can read through it. Okay, so beware of that. I just wanted to make that very clear. And this is people that really, really want to be successful in their business. They really want to listen to advice, and they have not just gone through Google and research and, oh, I've heard this. They told me this. What about this? Well, that's if we're telling you the opposite, if we're telling you, no, that's not right, this is what it is, and you're like, well, but I read it on the internet, well, then go and do your business online. Do it on your own. Call us a year later when you're in troubles. Call us a year later to help you close down the business, or you're not going to even call us because you're not going to be even launching your company. That's my belief. So on our YouTube channel, we will be starting a new series in Spanish called 2 Minutes Tips. These tips are designed to help your business grow and thrive. They are really shot on purpose to get you the quick information you need to see more profits in your business. Yes, remember, profits are totally different than revenue. Okay? To find out when we release them, make sure to subscribe to YouTube. Jesus, take the wheel and play the video. To do this, search for Invictus Advisors on the search bar at the top of YouTube. Click on our YouTube page. On the right hand side of the page, click the red subscribe button. You will now get notified about all the videos and episodes of Lunch with the Shark when they're uploaded to YouTube, or whenever we upload something to YouTube, to our YouTube channel from Invictus Advisors. So, to end up today's Lunch with the Shark, I want to quote America Grammy Award winner singer Patti LaBelle. And she said, "Every exit, it's an entrance to someplace else." Every exit, it's an entrance to someplace else. Just think about that. It's been great seeing you. It's been great catching on to you. Thank you for yesterday, Jeffrey. Thank you to everyone who tuned in yesterday, today, and every day, and who's following us, and those who are not following us. Send us your comments. Send us your questions. We are also having open enrollments for our Fridays with the Shark that are going to be hot seats. We'll answer questions and help you solve some of your business problems. So see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bon appetit. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with the Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com, and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.